What's happening, guys? Chris here from All About Saturday. Today we're diving into one of the most explosive defensive prospects in college football, David Bailey, the Texas Tech edge rusher who's highly coveted by pretty much every NFL team. Today we're going to break down his dominant high school career, his recruiting profile, and how NFL teams like the New York Jets, Tennessee Titans, and Cincinnati Bengals might view him as a future franchise defender. Stay tuned. As a senior at Mater Dei, Bailey posted 20.5 tackles for loss, 15.5 sacks, and led Mater Dei to a perfect 12-0 record and a California Open Division State Championship. His performance earned him Cal High Sports Defensive Player of the Year, Orange County Defensive Player of the Year, Trinity League Defensive Player of the Year, and a spot on the All-American Bowl. Bailey was a late bloomer physically, but scouts immediately saw the upside. Long, explosive, and relentless. Recruiting services were all over Bailey early. According to 247 Sports, he was ranked the number 33 overall player, the number 3 edge, the number 2 player out of California, and had a .97 rating. The first player left off their 5-star list. Can't believe that. 247 described him as a long, athletic pass rusher with unlimited upside, explosive off the edge with elite closing speed, and strong enough to bull rush, fast enough to win with pure speed. He originally signed with Stanford, where he made an immediate impact before transferring to Texas Tech. Bailey's college journey began at Stanford, where he earned true freshman All-American honors after posting 46 tackles and 8.5 tackles for loss. After transferring to Tech, he became one of the most feared edge rushers in the country. His height, 6'3.5", weight 250, 40-yard dash 4.5, vertical 35 inches, and a 10.9 broad jump. Pretty elite if you ask me. Scouting reports rave about his first step explosion, ability to bend the edge, violent hands and inside counter moves, and a high motor and a relentless pursuit ability. He's been described as almost unblockable during his stretches of the season, including an 8-sack, 10.5 tackle for loss run over 5 games. It's obvious that he's a first-round talent. Some boards place him in the top 5. Bailey is just elite with his pass rush traits and his size and all that stuff. But specifically in this section, I'm just going to kind of look at what his potential is with a couple of teams, those being the Jets, Titans, and the Bengals. Starting with the Jets need talent. They always seem to need talent every single year. I think Bailey would be a welcome addition to them. However, I just don't necessarily know if another pass rusher is really going to help them too much. I mean, with Jalen Carter, Jermaine Johnson, all these guys just leaving after their first contract or not even making it to their first contract. I think the Jets would be unwise to take an Arvell Reese. Arvell Reese started for 1 year. I don't think his production was all that good, and it seems like he's a little raw when it comes to a pass rusher. I think he's a good off-ball linebacker, though. And unfortunately, with Jeremiah Love being available, I think that wouldn't be a good pick. I just don't think they have the line at this point. So I think David Bailey would be the best choice here. I just think it's just doomed to repeat itself. History just repeats itself, and I think this would be an unfortunate situation for him, having to leave probably after a couple of years or after his rookie contract to really play for a good team where his skill set will be used. And with the Titans, I think this would be an ideal landing spot for him, to be honest with you. I don't think he necessarily goes here. I do think he goes with the Jets, unfortunately for him. I think Jeremiah Love would be a great pick here. I think an awesome off-ball linebacker like a Sonny Styles, also who can rush the passer, would be great here. Who knows, even like an offensive lineman to support Cam Ward would be great here as well. But I think the Titans would be wise to pick David Bailey if Jeremiah Love's not available. I think he'd fit perfectly with Robert Saleh's defense and, would be good for the track record of Mike Bergonzi. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Last but not least, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't think there's any way he falls down to number 10. However, who knows? The draft is just a wild, wild day, and anything could happen. But more realistically, I think Ruben Bain ends up here. Perhaps Caleb Downs ends up here. One of the tackles ends up here. But David Bailey would be a great fit, I think, for the Bengals for a multitude of different reasons, but I'll just share one here. I think Al Golden really is missing this piece in the Bengals. I think this one thing that really was needed last year with this defense was just a dominant pass rusher. So he could really get back to his cover one man coverage scheme that we've seen him on past years at Notre Dame. But either way, I might be just having this as a filler pick, to be honest with you, because there's really kind of no reason why he would actually go down to the Bengals. But let me know if you guys agreed. Could he go to the Bengals? Could he slide? I guess time will tell. All right, thank you so much for your time today, guys. If you could like the video, consider subscribing, leave a comment. I'd really appreciate it. Until next time, cheers.